went to school in those classrooms behind the school. So today I have conflict of interest because this is my old school. I went to school in those classrooms behind there, and I cleared 51 years ago. And I was interviewed in that office that is over there, where I went to sign. And so he's still my director. My colleagues in education and also from other ministries, I think the marking exercise for the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education is coming to an end today. But I want to emphasize one thing, that things have been abnormal to some extent, not normal in the usual manner that we are working during the COVID-19 pandemic. And therefore I want to take this opportunity, first of all, to thank our dedicated teachers who have worked as the markers, and they have carried themselves with the utmost integrity and basically have offered themselves, because the amount of work that they have done in the period that they have done it, they could not be compensated for. So I want to tell the government that the teachers that took part in this exercise, including the ones that are seated here, have done an excellent job. I know Mr. Motanya because we have worked with him for 5 years, and I think he has also improved in his handling of the job and handling each other. I also wish to thank the center coordinators, including the one that is here, who was responsible for the welfare of the teachers as they did their work to ensure that all the things that the body needs in terms of remaining alive during the COVID pandemic were made available. You have seen Commissioner Opicho, your own security, and the security of the, please sit down, and the security of the scripts was under 24-hour guard through a multi-agency approach coordinated by Commissioner Opicho and some others that I cannot bring here. So I therefore want to thank my colleagues, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, CS Interior and Coordination of the National Government, and my other colleague, CS Mucheru, who is in charge of ICT, for having given us excellent data entry personnel who have also gone out of their way to show that it can be done. Ladies and gentlemen, this examination was marked in 35 centers within the larger Nairobi metropolis. Our decision to increase the number of centers to 35 enabled us to take good care of the teachers by ensuring that we provided enough space for them to carry out this important exercise according to the Ministry of Health guidelines. I want to encourage by name the markers at Thika High School and St. Francis Girls Mangu, who are just winding up as we speak, and to recognize their gallantry despite all the other parameters that we must deal with as we speak, that they have made it possible for us to stick to our timetable of opening schools as and when all the education stakeholders agreed last year. Therefore, over the next couple of days, we are going to move to the next level, which will require certain experts to do certain things, and therefore there should be no rumors as to when the exam results will be ready. They will be ready when they are ready. So give us a break. Since the teachers have done their work, now some of their experts will do a little bit more. All I can tell you is that the results will come out reasonably well as expected, so that if we require, for example, more of our children to apply to teacher training colleges to be trained on the CBC curriculum, then they should be able to benefit, because we are now having an entry now and we are going to have another entry in August. So don't ask anybody, or don't listen to anybody who is saying, why are you rushing with the results? Anybody who asks that should actually use his brain. That life must continue despite the fact that the COVID-19 is here. Life must continue. Ladies and gentlemen, this examination we have just talked about was for 2020. And the difference was that we did it during second term, immediately after the second term. We are yet to open for third term, and by the grace and mercy of God, we shall open on Monday the 10th, as was decided by a large group of education stakeholders sometimes last year. And I want to be extremely clear that the classes that are going to open, for the avoidance of doubt, in this country we have one government. That one government has one leader. We don't have a parallel leader or parallel leaders. So when the government pronounces itself and you think you want to create your own government, then we shall come on you like a ton of bricks. So the government has said, after consultation with all the stakeholders, that learners expected to report to their schools are those in PP1, PP2, grade 1 to grade 3, standard 5 to standard 7, and Form 1 to Form 3, period. Which means, again for the avoidance of doubt, I would like to emphasize that our grade 4 learners shall remain home until the 26th of July. Until the 26th of July, when we shall now start our new education calendar year. So anybody who wants to bully parents to pay fees for children to go to school, I've never been on the parent side, but this time I'm on their side. Don't pay any money to anybody. But if you dare to do so, if you are a private school and you dare to do so, ask yourself where you got your license from. Because for His Excellency the President, every Kenyan child is equal. Every Kenyan child is equal. In fact, for us, we don't bother about a child in private school or public school. Every Kenyan child must be treated equally. And so I hope this point has gotten home. Again, for the avoidance of doubt, that education stakeholders group had all the private school owners there. They were represented, including the international school owners, whom I also believe are here. So there is no special child for His Excellency the President. In fact, he's more attracted to the poor child who is in the slums. So I hope that matter is rested, because we have received reports that certain people have already sent fee guidelines that they want their grade 4s to report. Go and create your country, create your government, and then create your university, your education system. So all schools, both public and private, must adhere to what we decided together. In terms of empowering the schools to get back to work, you remember we were supposed to give 15 billion last term, but we gave only 7.5. Even those head teachers who are here, the good news, and you should rush back to your schools because I want you to make them ready. You will find that there is money already in your accounts, because we have wired 7.5 billion to the secondary schools to ensure that you get COVID ready by Monday. And we are going to work with you through our field officers as much as far as we can. Further, we have requested the third term 13 billion for secondary schools and 2.8 billion for primary schools, and I think this money should be available towards the end of next week. So we don't want to hear any excuse that you have not been empowered to run the schools. But having said so, I want to thank you also for having done an excellent job in the past, because you had ensured that the children were well taken care of. And we thank the President for having dared to open the schools, because you can just imagine if he was not bold enough to open the schools, we would have had no exams to be marking now. And you can still hear a little noise here and there saying, oh, so you should wait. And my friend, I like the President because he makes decisions and he moves by them. We shall open on Monday, and as far as we follow the Ministry of Health protocols, the rest we leave to God, isn't it? But it is also better because when the vaccine comes, I am aware that about half of you teachers have been vaccinated. When vaccine comes, we shall ensure that all of you who voluntarily accept to be vaccinated shall be vaccinated possibly by the end of next month. And so we shall ensure that everything goes on. And all I want to say before I release you is that we are working on different times. This is your first sacrifice. There's another sacrifice coming soon, because as soon as these results are released, we shall embark on the next examination, which is now for this year, 2021. And since this is already May, you can imagine how late we are. So in order for us to claw back the time that we lost, it means we expect you to continue to sacrifice yourself. Not for anybody, you are sacrificing for your country and your own children and grandchildren. I want to thank you very much. My last charge is that for those people, the 35 centers who have been marking, they are all around here. And Dr. Juan, yes, can we ensure that if it is possible, we fumigate them before Monday, which means you have no weekend? That's it. We fumigate them. The COVID preparedness was there. You just need to inject and ensure there is more sanitizers, more water, because I'm going to be moving around, especially for those 35. All the others who had enough time to look at the schools, we have looked at them, and I think they are quite in order. Asanteni sana. May the good God give us time to see tomorrow. Asante sana. So